You're not a bad student. I need you to actually hear that. You're not lazy, you're not slow, and you're definitely not just bad at this subject. You're studying in a format your brain flat out refuses to hold on to. Walls of text, rereading the same page 4 times, highlighting until the whole thing is yellow and none of it sticks. That's not studying, that's decorating. So I ran an experiment. I took 10 ChatGPT tricks and instead of asking it to do my homework, I used it to translate boring material into formats my brain actually keeps. Handwritten notes, diagrams, comics, flashcards, a private exam coach that grades me, and every single screen you're about to see is real. I'll show you exactly what I typed and exactly what came back. One rule before we start, because this is the difference between getting smarter and just cheating yourself. We are not using ChatGPT to avoid thinking. We are using it to think in a format that sticks. The science is boring but bulletproof. Your brain remembers pictures, stories, and stuff you had to pull back out of your own head. Far better than lines you passively read. So these 10 tricks all do one of two things. They either turn dead text into a vivid picture or they force you to recall instead of reread. 5 of them are visual, 5 of them are active. Let's build your unfair advantage. Trick 1. Turn any topic into a top student's handwritten notebook page. Here's the exact prompt I used. Make realistic handwritten study notes on photosynthesis. Neat blue ink on ruled paper. Headings underlined in red. Key terms highlighted. Little doodle diagrams in the margins. And a box called exam traps. And look at what came back. This isn't a wall of text. It's a page. Underlines, color, a hand-drawn chloroplast. Arrows connecting the light reactions to the Calvin cycle. Your brain treats this like a place, not a paragraph. And that little exam traps box at the bottom? That's the stuff teachers love to catch you on. Pulled out and made loud. One prompt, and you've got the page the smartest kid in class would have spent an hour making. Trick 2. When a concept won't sit still in your head, don't reread it. Make ChatGPT draw it. I asked it for a single clean diagram of how memory works. 3 stages: sensory, short term, long term, with labeled arrows for attention and rehearsal, and a little forgetting curve. And there it is. The whole idea as one picture you can hold in a single glance. This is the trick for anything with a process or a flow. A cell cycle. How a bill becomes law. The water cycle. Text makes you rebuild the whole chain every time. A diagram lets your eye walk it. Say the words draw this as a labeled diagram and watch the fog lift. Trick 3, and this one is pure exam week gold. Sticky notes. I asked ChatGPT to turn the entire French Revolution into 6 color coded sticky notes on a corkboard. Causes: the Bastille, the Reign of Terror. Key people: Napoleon. Consequences: 6 notes, 6 colors. Done. Here's why this is so powerful. A whole messy chapter just got chunked into 6 things you can actually count on one hand. Color coding gives each idea a hook. And because it looks like a board, you can literally close your eyes and picture where each note sits. That's not a summary, that's a memory map. Print it, stick it above your desk, and let your eyes do the revising every time you look up. Trick 4 is the one that feels like a magic trick: the memory palace. This is the actual technique memory champions use to hold thousands of items. I asked ChatGPT to build one as a picture: a cutaway house, one room per planet, in order, each with a weird object to help it stick. And look: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, room by room, a little story in each. Here's the secret your brain has been hiding from you. It's genuinely terrible at remembering lists and unfairly amazing at remembering places and weird images. So you smuggle the boring list inside a vivid place. Anything you have to memorize in order: the planets, the periodic groups, the stages of mitosis. Hand it to ChatGPT and say, Build me a memory palace. Then just walk the rooms. Trick 5. The one that makes hard topics almost embarrassingly easy. Turn it into a comic. I gave ChatGPT one line. Explain supply and demand as a 6 panel comic with 2 characters. And it built a little story. A shopkeeper, a customer, price going up, price going down, meeting in the middle. Dry economics just became a story you'd actually remember. This is the move for anything abstract and slippery. Inflation, natural selection, how a virus spreads. Story plus picture is the single stickiest format your brain has, which is exactly why you still remember cartoons from when you were 6. Make your hardest topic into a comic, and you'll be quoting it in the exam. Okay, halftime. 5 visual tricks down, 5 active ones to go. So take the 10-second study break your brain actually needs, and let me be real with you for a second. 90% of you watching haven't subscribed. On Facebook, subscribe is the supporter button. That is what keeps the lights on here. On YouTube, it's free, and it tells the algorithm to send you more. Subscribe to support us. Breaks over. Because the next 5 tricks are the ones that don't just help you understand. They force the material into long-term memory, whether your brain likes it or not. Trick 6. Stop testing yourself with the answers already on the page. Build a private exam coach. Watch. You are my exam coach. Make me a 6 question test on the cell, 3 multiple choice, 2 short answer, 1 explain why, rising in difficulty, and do not show the answers yet. And it hands me a real test. No answers, just questions, exactly like the real thing. Then the killer line at the bottom. Reply done. And I'll mark your answers like a strict examiner and tell you exactly what you missed. That's the whole game. Recall under pressure, then instant feedback on the gap. This one trick replaces an entire revision guide, and it never runs out of questions. Trick 7. My favorite for the stuff that sounds smart but never quite clicks. The Feynman technique. I told ChatGPT, teach me Newton's 3 laws like I'm 12. One everyday analogy per law, no jargon. Then list 3 gaps to check if I really understood. Look how it lands. A football that won't move till you kick it. An empty cart versus a loaded one. Your feet pushing the ground when you jump. Suddenly, the laws are obvious. But here's the part most people skip. That gaps to check section at the end. 3 questions that quietly expose whether you actually get it or just feel like you do. If you can't answer them, you found your weak spot before the exam did. Trick 8. This one plugs straight into the single most proven study method there is: spaced repetition. I asked ChatGPT to turn the heart and circulatory system into 10 flashcards that test recall, not just recognition. And then the clever bit: to hand them back as a file, I can paste straight into Anki or Quizlet. And it did both: a clean question and answer table, then a ready to import file. So instead of spending your Sunday hand making cards, you spend 10 seconds, paste, and you've got a deck that quizzes you for weeks. The tool that beat every other study method in the research, built from your notes in one message. Trick 9. Because knowing what to study is only half of it. You need to know when. I told ChatGPT the truth most planners ignore. I've got a biology exam in 7 days, 1 hour a day. Here are my weak topics. Build me a plan that uses active recall and spaced repetition, not rereading. And it built a real schedule. Day by day, a focus, an exact method, and a 5-minute self test for each day. Notice it doesn't say read chapter 4. It says draw it from memory, explain it aloud, brain dump on a blank page. And look at the rule it added at the bottom. Don't reread when you get stuck. Struggle first, then check. That's not a study plan. That's a coach who read the science. Trick 10, the one that actually moves your grade. Get your answers marked before the examiner ever sees them. I pasted in a weak half right answer about photosynthesis and said, be a strict examiner. Grade this out of 5. Tell me what's right, what's wrong, and the one sentence to add for full marks. And it went straight for the throat. 3 out of 5. Write about the energy, too vague on why it levels off. And then the gold. The exact sentence to add to hit full marks. That is the feedback loop. Teachers never have time to give 30 students. Write a rough answer. Get it torn apart, kindly. Fix the one thing. Do that 10 times, and you walk into the exam already having made every mistake in private. So here's what actually just happened. Cramming is rereading and highlighting and hoping. This is a system. 5 tricks that turn dead text into pictures your brain keeps: notes, diagrams, sticky notes, memory palaces, comics. And 5 that force the knowledge back out of your head: a test, an explainer, flashcards, a plan, and a merciless marker. Screenshot this if you've ever highlighted an entire page and remembered none of it. Because that was never you being a bad student. That was the format. Change the format, and you change what you're capable of. I packed all 10 of these, the exact word for word prompts. So you just copy, paste, and swap in your own topic into one free guide called the AI Study System. If you want it, comment the word study and I'll send it straight to you, or grab it at the link in the description. And quick reminder, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So wherever you're watching this, follow there too. And I'll keep turning the way you learn into something that actually works. You were never the problem. The format was. Now go change it.